Hello my dear student. Today we are going to learn the degree of price elasticity of demand, and this is the continuation of the previous video. That is, we are doing the chapter price elasticity of demand. So when we are talking about this degree of price elasticity of demand, it can be also considered as a classification of price elasticity of demand. So economist expresses the value of price elasticity of demand in its numerical terms. That means the value of price elasticity of demand lies between 0 to infinity. So it ranges from 0 to infinity. So it may take either the value 0, it may take either the value 1, 2, 3 and so on. And the 0 and infinity are the two extreme cases of price elasticity of demand. The economist has classified the price elasticity of demand into 5 different categories. Number one we have perfectly inelastic demand. Number 2 we have perfectly elastic demand. Number 3 we have unity elastic demand. Number 4 we have elastic demand, and number 5 we have inelastic demand. Now we are going to discuss the different types of this price elasticity of demand. That is, what is perfectly elastic demand, what do you mean by perfectly elastic demand, what do you mean by unitary elastic demand, what do you mean by elastic demand and inelastic demand. So we will go one by one. Okay, now we are going to explain what is perfectly inelastic demand. So definition says that when quantity demanded of a commodity does not respond to its change in price. Once again listen, when quantity demanded of a commodity does not respond to change in its price, then the value of a price elasticity of demand will be 0. That is, EP equals to 0. So here the quantity demand will not change irrespective of changes in the price. Price may increase or decrease, but the quantity demand will remain same. For example, let's consider price and quantity. So here, suppose the price of a commodity is 100 rupees, and the quantity demand is suppose 5 units. Now, when price of a commodity increases from 100 to suppose 120, at that price also quantity demand will remain same, that is 5 units. So we can see that the price of the commodity is changing from 100 to 120, but the quantity demand of the commodity is remaining same, that is 5 units. So this can here to explain how we get the value 0, that is EP equals to 0. So let's consider this initial price as a P and this one 120 as P1. These 5 units as Q and next this one as Q1. So we know that EP equals to del Q by del P into P by Q. Now we will find the value of del P. Del P equals to P1 minus P, that is 120 minus 100 equals to 20. So here quantity del Q equals to Q1 minus Q. So Q1 is 5 units, 5 minus 5 equals to 0. Now if we put the value of del P 20 and del Q, if we put del P 20 and del Q 0, we will get the value of EP as 0. So let's try. EP equals to del Q we have 0 divided by del P we have 20 into initial price is 100. So we'll write here 100 divided by initial quantity that is Q we have 5 units. So we'll write here 5. Now this 0 into 100 will get 0 divided by 20 into 5 is equals to 100. So 0 divided by any number equals to 0. So here EP equals to 0. Since the proof is not given in your book, but for your better understanding, I have explained this proof also, like how we will get the value of EP equals to 0 in the case of perfectly inelastic demand. Okay, this degree of price elasticity of demand, that is number 1, we were doing number 1, that is perfectly inelastic demand. Now the concept of perfectly inelastic demand can be also explained with the help of diagram. So many times this question has been asked in IST, that draw the demand curve for perfectly elastic demand. So we can explain the concept of this perfectly inelastic demand with the help of diagram. Let's consider x-axis and y-axis. So this is our y-axis, this is our x-axis. Now in x-axis we will measure quantity and in y-axis we will measure price. So in definition, we have already mentioned that the quantity demand of commodity does not respond to change in its price. Means the quantity demand will remain same irrespective of changes in the prices. Now suppose say initial price of commodity, suppose say take 100. So at rupees 100, suppose say quantity demand is suppose say 5 units. Now, when price of the commodity increases from 100 to suppose 100 to 80, at that time also the quantity demand will remain 5 units. So here we will get the demand curve for this perfectly inelastic demand. It will be parallel to y-axis. So when price of commodity is 100, quantity demand will remain 5 units. When price of commodity increases from 100 to 120, the quantity demand will again remain same, that is 5 units. So if you draw a line, we will get the demand curve that will be parallel to y-axis. So here it implies that EP equals to 0, that is the value of price elasticity of demand is equals to 0, because the quantity is not changing irrespective of changes in the prices. So price is changing but the quantity demand is remaining more or less same. Okay, now next we have to know that which commodity will fall under this category, that means perfectly inelastic demand. What type of commodity are there that comes under perfectly inelastic demand? So here in definition itself it says that the quantity demand is not changing irrespective of changes in the prices. Means price of commodity changing but quantity demand is remaining same. So what kind of commodity is that falls under perfectly inelastic demand? So especially we see that necessary goods that comes under this perfectly inelastic demand. But in few cases what happens that if the price price of commodity changes, even in the case of necessity goods, the quantity demand also changes. So we can take the example like life-saving drugs. Life-saving drug is an example of perfectly inelastic demand. Okay, next we have perfectly elastic demand. So you have to understand the meaning. What is perfectly elastic demand? So when consumers are prepared to purchase all that they can get at a same price. So here the price of commodity will remain same, but the quantity demand may change by any amount, and the value of price elasticity of demand will be infinite. Means here the quantity demand will change by infinite amount, but price of commodity will remain more or less same. That means P will remain same, price will remain same, quantity may change by Q may change by infinite amount. But it also says that the consumer will not purchase the quantity at higher price. So price will remain same, but quantity may change by any amount. The concept of perfectly elastic demand can be also explained with the help of numerical example. Let's consider price and quantity. So when price of commodity is of say 100 rupees and the quantity demand is of say 5 units. Now when price remains same, rupees 100, then quantity demand may change by any quantity. It may be 10 or it may be 20 units. But what we see that the price of a commodity is remaining same. Quantity demand can change by any amount. So let's consider this initial price as P and this one as P1. Similarly, this quantity as Q and this one let's consider only K as Q1. Now we know that EP equals to, that is price elasticity of demand equals to del Q by del P into P by Q. Now again we are going to prove that EP value will be equals to infinite. So for this proving I am using this data P as 100, P1 also 100, because here the price of commodity is remaining same, but quantity demand is changing from 5 to 10 units. So here we will calculate del P. Del P equals to P minus P1. That means 100 minus 100 equals to 0. Now here we are going to calculate del Q. So del Q equals to Q1 minus Q. So Q1 is given 10 units. 10 minus Q is given 5 units. So 10 minus 5 is equals to 5. Now putting the value of this del P, del Q, initial price P and initial quantity Q, will get the value EP equals to infinite. Okay, so put in the value of this del Q. Del Q we have 5. Del P we have 0. So here 0 into initial price of commodity is given as 100. Initial price is 100 divided by initial quantity we have 5 units. So here 5 into 100, 500 divided by 0 into 5 is 0. So when we multiply any number by 0, the product will be 0. So here again, when any number divided by 0 is equals to infinity. So here we will get the value infinity, that is EP equals to infinity. So this is the second case, that is perfectly elastic demand, and in definition itself it says that the price of commodity will remain same, but quantity demand can change by any amount, and the value of price elasticity of demand will be infinity. So this one we have already proved with the help of the formula of this price elasticity of demand, and finally we got EP equals to infinity. am going to explain the concept of this perfectly elastic demand with the help of diagram. So again we will draw two axes, that is x-axis and y-axis. In x-axis we are going to measure quantity, and in y-axis we are going to measure the price. So in definition itself it says that the price of a commodity remains same. Suppose the price of commodity is 100. So quantity demand can change by any amount. It may be 5 units, it may be 10 units, it may be 20 units, it may be 30 units, and so on. So at any quantity demand, the price of commodity is remaining same. If we draw the diagram, we will get the perfectly elastic demand that will be parallel to x-axis. That means at quantity 5, the price is also 100. If we purchase 10 units, the price will remain same. That is 100. If we purchase 20 units of commodity, the price is same. Even at 30 units, the price of the commodity is same. That is 100. So here we will get EP equals to infinity. The price of the commodity is not changing, only the quantity demand is changing by any amount. It can be any amount, 5, 10, 20, 30, the value can go till infinity. Now we have to know which commodity will fall under this category. So which commodity will fall under this perfectly elastic demand? So especially luxury goods that comes under, it may be different types of durable goods, electronic gadgets, book, pen, pencil, even eatable items. These all are the example of this perfectly elastic demand.